Hello Taurus, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Chariot card, very powerful card. You're someone who is intensely devoted to something. You know, when you feel that kind of devotion, you will always be there. You know, you will always have someone's back, right? If there's that devotion, there's that commitment, there's that love. I think family is very important to you. I think the home is very important to you. You might be focused a lot on home and family right now in your life. Even though I feel as if there's not a lot of people around you right now. You know, maybe there's a little bit of, you know, there is focus on home and focus on family, but it's very kind of, it's very private. It's just kind of like it's taking place within, you know. But I feel like you're somebody who's really ready for adventure. I feel like you're ready to get out there and, you know, enjoy the weather, whether you're in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. There's always something to do outside, you know. I feel like you're in that mood where it's important to appreciate the people around you. And I think that you are, if not already on a quest, you're kind of ready for that quest, because I feel like you kind of you've got all your stuff ready to go. You've got dressed, you've got your sunscreen on, you've got all your thing, you got your bag, you're in the car and you're ready, and maybe we're just looking for a destination. Maybe we're looking for our friend or our partner or something to get in the car too, so we can get out on the road, you know. I feel like you've been having some sort of back issues lately. And I don't know if you've pulled a muscle in your back or something like that, but I feel that there's like it kind of feels like a pulled muscle, but I think it even kind of goes around into your abdomen, you know. And I don't know if this is from overstraining or you overstretched or something like that, right? But nevertheless, I feel like the Chariot, for one, is someone who, no matter what, is ready, you know. And even when we get a little bit, even if you're not in your best physical shape right now, let's say you are, maybe you do have that back kind of injury or a strain or something, you're not letting that slow you down, you know. And maybe we're speaking hypothetically here, but I feel like there's something going on here. Let's do another card. Two of Wands. I think maybe the two of you are in the car kind of fighting on which way to go. Yeah. We kind of need a unity here. We need to be on the same page. We can't drive two directions at the same time. Okay. So it could be that this Two of Wands is just something that we kind of have to battle this out. We kind of have to argue and fight, and you know, maybe this is us, you know, paper, rock, scissors, who's going to decide, you know, where we're going today, what the adventure is, you know. Because I feel like the Chariot is stopped at some sort of either a fork in the road or at a crossroads, or there's just kind of there's a split in the will, you know. And it might just be going on with us, but it could be with a friend or a family member or a romantic partner or something like that. We kind of have to get on the same page. Now, it's either that we're compromising with somebody else and saying, all right, we'll do what you want to do today, you know, or that person's going to have to compromise with us. But we kind of need both parties to be on board. We need both things. And it could be taking place within you. It could be that there's part of you that wants to go that way, part of you that wants to go that way. And maybe we're not talking about a day trip to the beach or something. Maybe this is a life choice. Maybe it's a choice about the home or about the family, a big decision. Okay. I think it's involving the home and involving the family in some way. We have a 6 of Pentacles underneath everything. This is what we strive for, I think. And you're the kind of person that I think you work very well in a group. I think you know what it means to compromise. And compromise doesn't mean that we are not getting what we want. Compromise doesn't mean, fine, I'm going to fold. You make all the decisions. You take the lead. You do it all. And I'll just follow you. No, a compromise is where everybody kind of meets in the middle. There are certain things that you will have to sacrifice, but there are certain things that you will not sacrifice, right? And I think even with the Chariot card, we're seeing an implication of that. There are things that you will not sacrifice. There are things that you will not compromise, that are not on the table for compromise. The oh no no's, you know? And that could be something that you really need to focus on right now, because this charioteer is holding on to that holy grail. Those are the valuables. Those are the things, those are my values, my principles, my needs, my desires, my will. These things in me that I am not going to compromise on. Those are those few things, a handful of things, that don't even talk about them. Don't even say their name. They're not on the table. They're not up for discussion, right? These essential things, right? We're not moving on those things. But the rest of it, everything else, yeah, sure, let's talk about it. Let's everybody put into the pot what they're willing to give up, and we'll make it work. I think you're somebody that really does understand the value of cooperation. I feel like this is kind of the card of all the family getting around a table and having this discussion. It could be you and one other person. It could be a spouse, a friend, a coworker, I don't know. But I feel like you and your energy, your talent, right? You're the type of person that knows how to compromise and knows what compromise truly means. Knows how to make everything this kind of cooperative effort. So I feel like I don't think that you're the boss of something, but I feel like you're the one that really can represent the group, you know? So yeah, I don't know, maybe you're a supervisor or something like that, but I feel like you think of a baseball team, right? And you think that there's the coach and the manager, right? They're the boss, you know? But then the team, a player on the team is the team leader, okay? Different than being the boss, but it's the one that kind of is able to keep everybody united, you know? So it's different than a boss. It's more of a team leader than, you know, a manager or the head coach kind of thing, right? And I feel that's kind of where you are. Let's keep going. Yeah. I think maybe at one point you were the boss. I think we have the Queen of Wands here in the background position. Well, the Queen of Wands, really, we could be talking about an older female energy in your life. Okay, but this is, and maybe this is you, and maybe this is some energy that we moved out of. I didn't like being the boss. I didn't like telling people what to do. I didn't like being separated from the team and having to tell the team what to do. Or feeling maybe it's a family thing. You didn't want to be that kind of boss of the family, you know? It's almost, it's more democratic now, in a way, you know? So I think you moved out of this energy, or I think maybe there was someone in your life that was like this. Maybe it was an older female energy, maybe it was an older sibling, maybe this is the boss, the coach, the manager of the team, or the manager of the company, or whatever, CEO, I don't know. This could be mom, it could be grandma. Okay. It could be a partner of some kind, it could be a friend. But I feel like this is somebody that, whether by choice or by necessity, put themselves above everybody else in order to make decisions. And this really could be, I am feeling this kind of mom energy. And it could be that mom really had to fight for the decisions here. You know, really had to do battle in order to make decisions for the family that were difficult at the time, but that were, and maybe it had to do a lot with traveling. Maybe it had a lot to do with, I feel like moving. I kind of feel a very simple, plain statement. I feel like mom was kind of harsh, but she had to do it. That she may have been a little bit bossy, you know, but it was for a good reason. That she needed everybody to just listen to her and do what she said. And I don't know why exactly, but I feel like that's something that you experienced. Okay. And I do feel like it was a mom. I guess it could have been dad or something like that, but I feel that there's this older female energy. Kind of was not democratic, you know. Kind of was a bit of a tyrant, but they needed to be. They needed you all to listen and do what they said for everybody's well-being, right? Maybe something with the home, maybe it was about moving, maybe it was about just getting to safety, or, you know, to somehow make the right kind of progress, right? Keep everybody kind of on track for something. And maybe that experience is why you don't want to step into that kind of a leadership role. That you do have this more magnanimous, more kind of democratic approach to your life, either to your family now, or to your employees, or your coworkers, or that sort of thing. Yeah. Just generally in life, I feel that you have more of this and less of this, because you experienced this in the past and you don't want it again, right? Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. Balance, fairness. Here's that Libra energy, the justice or adjustment card. You can make decisions very swiftly. You are good at that. I don't want to give the wrong impression. You're not waiting for somebody else to call the shots. There are things that you will absolutely not budge on, but you're trying to be fair. You're trying to be someone who can listen to others. We have a balance here. And maybe it's a balance between kind of being that tyrant and being the kind of, you know, magnanimous, you know, team leader rather than the big boss, right? I feel like there's a balance in you. I feel like you're striving always for balance in life. I feel like you're very much aware of consequences. You're somebody that is very aware of how they're behaving now, because you know kind of what kind of karma you're building for yourself. Yeah. Do you smoke? Someone smokes. You smoke, or someone in your life smoked, or still does. And there's something with the smoking and the breathing. It's starting maybe to take a toll in the breathing, you know, apparatus. And talking about consequences, I guess, right? So I think that whatever's happening right now, because there's Two of Wands there is a decision that needs to be made, and I wonder if we're almost at that point where it's like, I'm going to have to lean into this energy and just put my foot down, unless we can come to some kind of a compromise, some kind of a democratic solution here. Yeah. Because that Chariot needs to move. Where do we want it to move? 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is basically the road forward, progress. That somewhere in life right now that we're not making the progress. Maybe this is work, family, I don't know. Maybe this is just you generally in life. There's some progress that there's a road here we want to get on. We want to start making progress. We want to see the success. We want to see the gains coming in. We want to see the visible, tangible results of our efforts. So there's this decision. It's like we're at the stoplight. and we're waiting for it to turn green, or we're at the stop sign and we're waiting to kind of come to an agreement about which way to go. Do I go straight, left, right? What do I do? Right? And I think as far as this goes, you are looking at the results, the consequences. You're trying to see into the future to understand which is the right way forward. And maybe you have a particular idea, but there's some sort of a discord. Yeah. And you're being very patient, I feel. But that patience is wearing a little bit thin. Let's select the mystery card. This is the bonus card, confirmation card. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here. We're going to put Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, put it down in the comments. All right. So now we're going to go to the path of the serpent. We're going to see where this path is leading, where this road of success and progress is actually taking us, and maybe how we come to that decision to move in that direction. Okay. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and it really does help out the channel. Okay. All right, general energy. That higher perspective. You are looking to kind of rise above any of the emotional turmoil, any of the discord, any of the discussions. Now, we don't see any water energy yet. Okay, and I think this is why. Queen of Swords in your general energy. You're trying to have an objective, almost detached perspective. You're trying to assess the situation without getting emotional, without getting worked up, without getting angry over it, without fighting. You're just trying to see it for what it is. And the higher up we get, the further away we can see, right? It's some kind of, I don't know if it's some kind of geometry or something, right? The higher up we get, the further away we can see. And that's what you're trying to do. The further away you get from this situation, you take a step back and you can kind of see where all the different roads are leading. And I think that you have a very unique perspective and you know where this car should go. Now somebody's in the driver's seat, somebody has the keys, somebody's got their foot on the pedals, and you just need to go. Right? But you aren't that kind of taking matters into my own hands, putting my foot down kind of energy right now. You want consensus. You want everybody to be happy about the direction that we're taking this thing. What's in the environment? Prince. See, now we've got multiple court cards. Now we have our, I think, minimum of 3 court cards to tell me that this is a group thing, that this is either multiple family members or co-workers. There's more than one other person here. Okay? And this is the builder. Okay? Now, Taurus, this is one of your power cards. The Prince. The fixed earth energy. I gotta ring the bell. This is what you need to focus on. Progress, building. Not about making everybody else happy. Not about making sure that everybody feels heard, or that that we explore every single option and everybody gets their chance to talk and everything. It's kind of, I think you've done that. And now it's just time to build. It's time to go. It's time to drive the car steadily forward and make the progress, make these gains, and build up this life and whatever this is a lot of activity. It's a 9, right? It's a function. It's a driving forward on a road that's leading us somewhere. Okay? And it almost feels like enough discussion. I want you to see for yourself. As we drive on this road, you're going to see the visible signs of success, and we won't have to have a conversation. I'm not going to convince you with my words. I want you to see for yourself, and then you'll believe me. right? I feel like that's what it is. That's what's going on here. It's time to just not try to wrestle for the control, not try to have really the kind of conversation, really, not have this open discussion. Everybody gets the talking stick and everybody has the floor, and we're here for weeks and weeks. It's time to just demonstrate the truth of your perspective, and the proof of the pudding is in the tasting here. Okay? And that's your superpower. Your superpower maybe is not the conversation. It's not a convincing. You're not a convincer, right? You're a doer. You're the one that can build something. You're saying, look, I don't want to, I'm not going to say anything. Watch me. And then you do your magic. And you're doing this thing, and everybody's just astonished by what you've created. And it's almost beyond words, it's speechless, right? This is something that you're building that maybe you can't appropriately explain to other people what it is or how it's going to work or what the progress will be or how right you are. You're just going to have to show them. Yeah, you're going to have to show them. But what's the obstacle? Well, I think this is going to be some air energy. Oh, by golly, it is air energy. It's the Fool card. The Fool is pure air. The Fool is either wisdom or folly. Okay? And we think, well, wisdom, yeah, we'll talk about this. We'll have a conversation. We'll get everybody to sign off. Right? Is that wisdom in this case, or is that folly? Is it foolish of us to think that we can just talk and talk and talk and talk and that eventually we'll all come to the same agreement? Or are we just going to be deadlocked? Right? Or are we going to be a hung jury here? And honestly, with the Libra energy here, I might be onto something with the whole hung jury kind of thing. Because sometimes this card is looking at a legal situation. Or something involving official documents or paperwork or contracts. Might not be criminal law, but it could be, civil, something, business, arbitration, mediation, something like that. Okay. So it might be really that you have the legal right to do what you want to do here. And maybe the moral right too. Sometimes it's the same thing. So I kind of feel as if you don't have to get everybody to sign off. Let's say you're in a homeowners association or something, right? And everybody wants they're having this debate about whether to, I don't know, fix the road or something. And you're the kind of the president or whatever of the HOA, right? Well, you don't have to take a vote. You don't have to get everybody's agreement. You have that executive authority. You can make the decision on your own. Maybe you're trying to be magnanimous and cooperative and fair and balanced and get everybody to sign off, right? Maybe this is a situation where expecting everybody to be in agreement about something, maybe that's folly. Yeah. The difficulty here, I think, is the freedom from this. I don't know if it's the connection, almost the responsibility, the attachment to the other people involved. And that could be why we really do need this objective viewpoint where it's just like, I have to separate myself from that group and just say, this is the best decision. Look, everybody, this is what we're doing. Trust me, in a couple days or weeks, you'll see that this was the right choice. And maybe you've listened to everybody enough, and there's no consensus, right? But the difficult part, I think, is to not let everybody's opinion bother you. Because with the Fool energy, I feel that there's an absence of self-consciousness. It's kind of like we know that we're going to kind of ostracize ourselves, that I'm going to make this decision for everybody else. They don't agree on what we should do, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to claim the executive authority and I'm going to make the decision and we're going to go this way. Well, that's going to kind of, everyone's going to be looking at you. You know, it's going to make you kind of that, it's going to make you very aware that all eyes are on you. And the Fool is an energy that's supposed to not be self-conscious at all. The Fool, in fact, is so inconsiderate. It's the exact opposite of you right now. The Fool is just going and stumbling into one thing after the other. It is not concerned with consequences, is not concerned with other people's feelings, is not concerned with getting any sort of consensus, does not think about the future, does not think about the past. The Fool lives for the moment. I don't care whose toes I step on. I'm dancing in the world. I don't care if I bump into somebody. The Fool can be quite an inconsiderate energy. But I think that's the obstacle for you, is to be okay with a little bit of this. We don't want to go completely Fool, but I think a little bit. I think a little bit's going to take you a long way. Well, let's see what the final outcome is. Final card, Path of the Serpent. Lover's card. That's union. That's everybody coming together. That is, it's kind of a family thing. This could be a legal thing too. Well, I mean, come on. Between these two cards, we kind of have a legal marriage going on right here, right? So for some of you, maybe there is the prospect of marriage. Maybe that's kind of where some of this difficulty lies. Okay, either in a current marriage or in your plans to get married. Okay, and then kind of feeling like the rest of the family, it doesn't quite approve. Some people do, some people don't, and it's just like, look, it's not their decision, right? But either way, this doesn't have to be romantic. We don't have to be talking about a marriage. This is about the commitment to a path. This is about everything coming together. So I think that this is you making the decision on your own if you have to, but that everybody is going to see the light and it's going to bring everybody together. There's going to be a union in love about this. So I think being the builder, you're going to produce something here. You're going to show everybody the way. You don't have to speak and convince them. You're going to show them. And that's going to bring everybody together. And I think that this is going to be incredibly amazing. Let's look at the mystery card. But this is you committing to your choice, sticking to that choice, the choice that you know, that you feel in your heart is right. I want an ace in our mystery card. Really, an Ace of Cups would be perfect. But an ace nonetheless, because that will cannot be two. We cannot be split between that way and this way, what I want and what they want, or, you know. Let's see what we have. 6. All right, well, it's kind of a unity. What this card is victory. It's victory. This is, I think, and if we just look at the image of that card, that's you on the horse. It's almost like there's a parade for you. And you have all the other people around you that are celebrating you, that are thankful for you, that you led us to victory. You know, it's kind of like, and I believe people are going to be saying, yeah, I knew it. I knew they were right. I believed in them the whole time. No, you didn't. That's okay. But everybody's going to be very grateful that you led them to victory here, right? They're going to see the light. You're going to demonstrate to them. You don't have to convince them with words. You're going to show them. And your success is going to be an example to them. Your success is going to be the proof that you were right. And I think this is everybody around you kind of following you, celebrating with you. And you are lifted up as the one that kind of led us all across the finish line, that led us to victory. Okay? And so this is a card that really is teaching you about yourself, teaching you to trust yourself, teaching you to follow your instinct, follow your gut, even if we're not into that kind of, that kind of decision making, you know. I think this is very good. This is showing that things are going to work out in the most amazing way, in whatever this situation is. All right. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free to subscribe. Okay. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.